Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Let's start. Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha. Jaya Giravardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha. Jaya Giravardhari. Shodanandana Rajjana Ranjana. Shodanandana Rajjana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Hare Bol. Om Agyan Timirthandasya Gyan Anjana Shalakya Chakshur Umiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sarupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Saganaragunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Prajna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shiva Shakarnitam Scha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatru Brihascha Kirpa Sindhu Vecha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Putale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Go Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukhan Kroti Vachalam Phangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpataham Vande Shri Guru Din Taranam Paramananda Madharam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat. Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Asam Tato Jamaduriyat Nashta Presha Presha Nitya Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhavati Uttam Shlaka Bhaktir Bhavati Nestiki. Hare Krishna. Okay, so chapter 10 we are doing, and we have been discussing, we're saying Krishna is living and emotions are flying high, and especially for the ones who are very attracted to, in fact nearly everybody is attracted to him, if not by their own capacity, by other people's just rubbing off on them, the emotions rubbing off on them as well. And Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, they all very Everybody getting very emotional, and we'll pick up on verse 16. Okay. So verse 16. Prasad Sikhara Rudadaha Kuru Naryo Dirikshaya Vavrushu Kusmehi Krishnam Prem Vrida Samite Shana. So Prasad, palace, Shikhar, the roof, Arudha, ascending, Kuru Naraha, the ladies of the Kuru royalty, Didriksha, seeing, Vavrashu, showered, Kusamahi by flowers, Krishnam, upon Lord Krishna, Prem, out of affection and love, Brida, Smita, Ikshanaha, glancing with shy smiles. So, out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of the Kurus got up and on top of the palace, and smiling with affection and shyness, they showered flowers upon the Lord. That's amazing. So they're on the roof, and they're throwing flowers at the Lord as he's leaving. So we throw flowers when somebody comes, but here flowers are sent when the Lord is leaving as well. Shyness, excuse me. Shyness is a particular extra natural beauty of the fair sex, and it commands respect from the opposite sex. This custom was observed even during the days of Mahabharata, i.e. more than 5,000 years ago. It is only the less intelligent person not well versed in the history of the world who say that observance of separation of female from male is an introduction of the Mohammedan period in India. This incident from the Mahabharata period proves definitely that the ladies of the palace observed strict parda, restricted association with men, and instead of coming down in the open air where Lord Krishna and others were assembled, the ladies of the palace went up on the top of the palace and from there paid the respect to Lord Krishna by showers of flowers. It is definitely stated here that the ladies were smiling there on top of the palace, checked by shyness. This shyness is a gift of nature to the fair sex and enhances the beauty and prestige, even if they are of a less important family or even if they are less attractive. We have practical experience of this fact. A sweeper woman commanded the respect of many respectable gentlemen simply by manifesting a lady's shyness. Half-naked ladies in the street do not command any respect, but a shy sweeper's wife commands respect from all. So human civilization, as conceived of by the sages of India, is to help one free himself from the clutches of illusion. The material body of a woman is an illusion because actually the body is made of earth, water, fire, air, etc. So it's just materials. But because there is association of the living spark with matter, it appears to be beautiful. When the spark is gone, it's just a shell left. There's no beauty. No one is attracted by an earthen doll, even if it is most perfectly prepared to attract the attention of others. The dead body has no beauty because no one will accept the dead body of a so-called beautiful woman. Therefore, the conclusion is that the spirit spark is beautiful, and because of the soul's beauty, one is attracted by the beauty of the outward body. Excuse me. The Vedic wisdom, therefore, forbids us to be attracted by false beauty. But because we are now in the darkness of ignorance, the Vedic civilization allows very restricted mixing of woman and man. They say that the woman is considered to be the fire and the man is considered to be the butter. The butter must melt in association with fire, and therefore they may be brought together only when it is necessary. And shyness is a check to the unrestricted mixing. It is nature's gift and it must be utilized. So Prabhupada is talking about the ladies and how it was then and how it is now, and basically saying that modernization is a decline in culture, really nothing else. Being modern, wearing short dresses, it's a decline in culture. It's lack of culture, that's all. So it looks a lot better. The woman looks more beautiful if she is well covered, according to this. And showing your flesh is not necessarily a sign of beauty. So anything else on this 16? Yeah. So instead of discussing the love and affection of the ladies towards Krishna, Srila Prabhupada focuses on the shyness of the ladies of Hastinapur. So certainly Srila Prabhupada, his attention has gone, is because they're throwing flowers from upstairs rather than at the on the forecourt where Krishna is living. I mean, it could partly be because the forecourt is already full of people there, and there's no room to stand, or you have to go right to the back. You get a much better view from the balcony upstairs. But Srila Prabhupada wants to make a point here. Nowadays, this quality is not so much appreciated or respected or cultivated. In the Vedic culture, one does not enjoy being appreciated by the eyes of others. In Krishna consciousness, beauty is appreciated, but more than that, the source of that beauty is appreciated, which is obviously Krishna. The material beauty of the body is an illusion because it's made of the 5 elements, which we've discussed. And the beauty is coming from the soul. The soul is beautiful because Krishna is beautiful. So everything that emanates, anything spiritual, is going to be beautiful because Krishna is spiritual. And we honor Krishna's beauty, which is reflected on the soul's beauty. So we're talking about the beauty here. Beauty is coming from Krishna, but it's not for us to exploit, it's further said. It's for Krishna's pleasure. It's not for our sense gratification to exploit and hanker after the opposite gender. The beauty is there for Krishna's pleasure. Srila Prabhupada says that we all have this disease of lust, and we should not increase the disease. We want to decrease this disease. This is why there is the segregation of men and women. Mixing should not be there when it's necessary. When it's necessary, still with caution. So mixing should not be there, but when we have to mix, then it should be done with caution. It should be beware. And further says, if a devotee poses himself on social media, which is like now as happening, and whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you get plenty of that. If a devotee poses himself on social media or the profile picture to attract attention, when other people look at the picture of this person with lusty eyes, then that lust is transferred on a subtle plane into the picture, and the energy of the devotee is impacted by lust. So certainly it can affect the picture as well, because somebody looking at you in a lusty way, just because you try to attract them in that way, and then that in a subtle way it affects the picture, and that might affect yourself as well, and impacts the consciousness of the aspiring devotee. So we have to be very careful how we dress, behave, speak in front of other people, in front of devotees, and what kind of messages and what kind of pictures we send out. I mean, we see with devotees as well, sometimes their dressing does seem inappropriate, and I've seen that myself. I'm afraid to say that it's they're well dressed here, but on holiday they're dressed in a very casual way, and then they post those pictures into the Facebooks And to be honest, it does not look good. It's like I'm on a break from Krishna consciousness, and now I can do whatever I want, and it really does not. And Srila Prabhupada goes far as to say that it will affect your consciousness as well, because you're attracting that kind of attention. Because it's your picture, it will affect you personally as well. So we have to be very, very careful with that. So shyness is a spiritual quality. Okay, so shyness is seen as a spiritual quality. Radharani is one of the qualities is shyness. Radharani puts on two garments, a lower garment and upper garment. The upper garment is pinkish and is her affection and attraction for Krishna. The lower garment is black silk sari, is her shyness. Amazing. So that is a lesson in shyness from Srila Prabhupada. So 17, Sitat Patram Jagraha Muktadam Vibhushitam Ratan Dandam Gudakesha Priha Priyatamasyaha. So Sita At Patram, soothing umbrella. Jagraha took up Muktadam, decorated with laces and pearls, Vibhushitam, embroidered. Ratan Dandam, with a handle of jewels. Gudakesha Arjun, the expert warrior, or one who has conquered sleep. So that was another name for Arjun. Priya, most beloved. Priyatamasya, of the most beloved. So he did. So at that time Arjun, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who's the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Wow. So gold, jewels, pearls, and valuable stones were used in the luxurious royal ceremonies. They are all nature's gifts and are produced by the hills, oceans, etc., by the order of the Lord. When man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities, by so-called development of industrial enterprises, they are now using parts of good perch instead of metals like gold, silver, brass, and copper. They are using margarine instead of purified butter, and 1/4 of the city population has now shelter. Amazing. So 17, it's mentioned that gold, jewels, pearls, and valuable stones are nature's gift, produced by hills, oceans, by the order of the Lord. When there's a Krishna conscious society as under Yudhishthira Maharaj's rule, this is what happens then, because they all cooperate and Krishna gives a lot of opulence. When the society is not good conscious, not God conscious, these gifts are no longer produced. Then man tries to exploit Mother Earth to find these gifts, but thereby incurring karmic reactions. So here Arjuna is called a Gudakesha, conqueror of sleep, blessed to stay awake and fight. At the same time, he was the conqueror of ignorance as well. As a pure friend of Krishna, he was well above all ignorance and had control of his senses. Although superficially Vrindavan is just cowherd village, the opulence of Vrindavan far exceeds that of Vaikunta or Dwarka. So on the surface, it may seem like it's dirty. There's a lot of, obviously, so many cows. There's going to be a lot of gobar there, dung as well, cow dung there as well, and roads and like that. A lot of people see it as dirty. So, the opulence of Vrindavan far exceeds that of Vaikunta or Dwarka, but because the mood of sweetness prevails in Vrindavan, it covers the mood of opulence. This is the thing. It's all about the mood. It's when we pray, when we go to Vrindavan, that we don't see, the dirty roads and the 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 gutters, things like that, and the beggars and all that, because that we are in the mode of opulence. This is the reason we see all that, because that's what we are looking for, right? We see, we're not seeing the spiritual side of things. We're seeing the material things in form of what we see with our material eyes, and we base it on that. But it's mentioned that a mood should be of sweetness, of madhurya, in Vrindavan, because Krishna is there, Radha is there, and the Gopas and the Gopis are there. So you have to go into that dimension, and this is what we always pray for, that we are in that mood, that we don't even notice the mess around us. Well, they say materially the men don't see the mess anyway, so but that doesn't make them spiritual. But spiritually, we should not see the mess. We should see the beauty with our spiritual eyes. So Vrindavan exceeds the opulence in other places. Krishna is walking bare feet, so every dust particle is touching his lotus feet. Every dust particle is unlimited Vaikuntha planets. It's also touchstone, Chintamani. Vrindavan's opulence is inconceivable. So, I mean, if Vrindavan was dirty and unfit for humans, then why would Krishna come there? That's his home. Vrindavan is his home. And wherever there's Krishna, there's everything, all the 6 opulences are there wherever there's Krishna. So there should not be any problem like that. Okay. And 18, Uddhav Sat Yakishchaiva Vyajane Param Adbhute Vikriya Manha Kusumay Reche Madhu Pathi Pathi. So Uddhava, a cousin brother of Krishna's, Satikehi is driver, Cha and Eva certainly, Vyajane engaged in fanning. So the fan we used for in deity service, Vyajana. Param Adbhute, decorative, Vikriyamanha, seated on scattered. Kusumahi, flowers all around, Reja commanded. Madhupati, the master of Madhu, Pathi, on the road. So Uddhav and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as the master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. So it's mentioned further that the land of Vrindavan belongs to Radharani, that is the devotee's consciousness. One landowner wouldn't give the land to Srila Prabhupada until Radharani had confirmed it was okay. He put 2 slips in front of Radharani and asked Srila Prabhupada's disciple to pick one slip. One slip said, yes, give the land, and the other said, no, don't give the land. And this is just a pastime of Srila Prabhupada. The disciple picked, yes, give the land, and Srila Prabhupada acquired the land by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So some landowner was playing games with them, and they acquired the land because Radharani confirmed, yes, you can have this land in Vrindavan. And I guess the rest is history. We have the Krishna Balaram temple there. So this is how they acquired that land. So in 19, Ashuyanta Shishaha Satyas Tatra Tatradvi Jirittaha Nanurupan Nurupascha Nirgunasya Gunatmanaha. So Ashruyant, being heard, Ashisha, benediction, Satya, all truths, Tatra, here, Tatra, there, the which Iritaha, stand by learned Brahmins, now not Anurupa, befitting, Anurupaha, fitting, Cha, also Nirgunasya, of the Absolute, Gun Atmanaha, playing the role of a human being. It was being heard here and there that the benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. So at places there were sounds of Vedic benediction aiming at the personality Godhead, Sri Krishna. The benedictions were fitting in the sense that the Lord was playing the part of a human being, as if a cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthira, but they were also unfitting because the Lord is absolute and has nothing to do with any kind of material relativities. He is Nirgun, or there are no material qualities in him, but he is full of transcendental qualities. In the transcendental world, there is nothing contradictory, whereas in the relative world, everything has its opposites. In the relative world, white is opposite conception of black, but in the transcendental world, there is no distinction between white and black. Therefore, the sounds of benedictions uttered by the learned Brahmanas here and there appear to be contradictory in relation with the absolute person. So the Brahmanas are doing the hymns and sounds of benedictions, but Krishna, he's God, and it makes no difference to him. So if somebody curses Krishna, makes no difference. Utters benedictions, makes no difference. But when they apply to the absolute person, they lose all contradictions and become transcendental. One example may clear this idea. Lord Shri Krishna is sometimes described as a thief. He's very famous amongst his pure devotees as the Makhan Chor. He used to steal butter from the house of neighbors at Vrindavan in his early age. Since then, he is famous as a thief. But in spite of his being famous as a thief, he is worshipped as a thief. Whereas in the mundane world, a thief is punished and is never praised. Since he is the absolute personality Godhead, everything is applicable to him, and still, in spite of all contradictions, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So whatever Krishna does, whether he's lying, he's cheating, he's stealing, he's running away like a Ranchor, he's running away from the battlefield, whatever he does is transcendental, mainly because he's not doing anything for his own personal benefit. Everything he does is for the benefit of his devotees, and the devotees realize that, they can see that, and to them, he stays God, and he always stays God. Whether it's Partha Sarthi, he remains God because he's doing that for his devotee. It's not that he was doing for his. He's saying, "No, I've never done this before. Let me try it out." He's doing to help Arjun, and no other reason. So this is why God is always God, but everything he does, that may look low in quality, in material terms, but he's doing for his devotee because he's so renounced. He doesn't claim to be God. So it says benedictions were being given by Brahmanas. They were blessing the Lord. The blessings are valuable. They are appropriate because the Lord was playing the part of an ordinary human being. Blessings carry a lot of energy and auspiciousness, but the Lord is not ordinary, so in that respect, they were not appropriate in that respect. So, but as a gesture, they were fine. Krishna is described as a thief, yet he is worshipped as a thief. He is the absolute. Krishna is glorified in Chodastikam by actually we worship Krishna as Chor, and Bilva Mangal Thakur, he has got Chora Ashtakam, 8-verse song on that. And Krishna is glorified as all attractive. He is also glorified as ugly death. In every respect, he is to be glorified. So Bilva Mangal Thakur, he glorifies him, and he says, you are a thief, and I'm going to imprison you in my heart. He's going to punish him for being a thief because he has stolen his senses, his life, but he's going to imprison him in his heart, and he's going to do that like life sentence for Krishna, always, imprisoned in the heart of Bilvamangal Thakur. So, this is so beautiful. Can we do another one? Should we do another one? We can. So, yeah, let's do another one. Actually, let's do that next time, because there's a lot to say on that, and one time for everyone to share this up to here. So we'll stop sharing. So we're done up to 19. Thank you so much. And we'll start with the Pundrikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna dear devotees. Again, nice verses. So when we read the first one, like where ladies decide to see the Lord, they went on to top of the palace.
Yeah.
I just remembered how devotees jump in front of deities during Kirtan, Mangala and I always feel like devotees are just asking Prabhupada or deities that, see, I am here in front of you, please see me, please see me. In that way, they jump so high. Even I see, even the one with heavy weight also, they jump high into the sky. I don't know how. I mean, that means the soul is so, when the soul becomes pure, then I feel like body becomes lighter, and it allows the body to jump high into the sky. And these ladies, even that time, they follow the rules and regulations, and they do not actually come into the same place as men's were there. They always try to live according to the Vedic rules. Um, and it is a soul that makes anything attractive. And as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in Bhagavad, Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita, the soul is amazing and it has got all good qualities. So when we say soul is amazing, that is all about inner qualities rather than the external qualities. And time is more valuable. Srila Prabhupada mentioned about that in that purport. Don't waste time in inventing new things. Um, invest time for the self-realization. That is more important than anything else. And Krishna do not do anything for his own benefit. He does only for us. So I was listening to again one of the class of Srila Prabhu, where he says that Krishna either he is anger or he is happy. In both ways, it is only a benediction for us. In the same way, a pure devotee, a pure soul is also like that. And they give an example of Narada Muni chastised Nalakuvera, but it is only for their benefit. They came and they got liberated, and they go to Golok happily. So, and Krishna is a Makan Chor and Chorastakam. I just remember this pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where a Brahmana come to Jagannath Mishra's house. He is trying to offer pressure offer to deity, but every time Mahaprabhu was coming, Nimai was coming and eating that, and he was chastised by Jagannath Mishra. But again, third time, he took that Brahmana aside, Mahaprabhu, and showed him what he is, and he gave him that supervision as well. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, fabulous verses. It just goes to show that the etiquette behind our culture, that the segregation that exists is not by chance, but a deep cultural thing. The segregation that we have is to keep some dignity, honor, and respect between the two genders. And of course, the genders come together in different ways. However, at religious times and at other occasions, in order to keep our attention focused on divinity, the segregation is necessary. And even as Krishna was leaving Hastinapur, the women were up on the roofs showering Krishna with petals, but were peering through their parda, as they were saying. And that was still a culture or an aspect of our fashion or culture which exists in certain parts of India still today. Because in order not to have the gaze of the opposite gender, there is that modesty that still takes effect. And the way Srila Prabhupada says that the male is butter and the female is the Agni or the fire. And the two, when they come together, are going to melt, merge, and hence that is the union that occurs when it is not controlled and contained. So that shyness, that silence, the demeanor, the pink of Radharani's sari at the top and the black at the bottom is very significant because that signifies the moods, as it were. And it then goes on to talk on 10.17 about how the environment was laden with gold, lace, and pearls, natural resources, and given up by the earth. And it has to be mined, of course. But it was done as a thing between a synthesis between nature and us, where it wasn't exploited. But the problem today is somebody wants to go to Greenland, somebody wants to go to the Antarctica, somebody wants to go to the moon or to the Mars to exploit natural resources of the universe. That is solely for human consumption and for greed and greed alone. And hence that's the difference. These things were meant for adorning individuals rather than as a form of acquisition of wealth. And it shows that the messages which are being sent by the way our people dress, fashion, it's a very cultured presentation. When we go to events and so forth, we dress in very traditional attire. And yes, we should be consistent. If you're Vaishnavas, whether you're on holiday or whether you're at the temple or whether you're at an event, but there is consistency. Because that consistency is a part of our discipline that goes with this values that have been given to us. And again, it refers to Krishna as being a Markanchor. Yes, he does. He was the ultimate thief who stole the butter, the gopis' clothes, and the hearts of all the devotees. And thieves aren't revered, they are imprisoned. And as one of the sages says, I want to put you in my heart, the heart, so I can imprison you forever. And all Krishna wants ultimately is for us to have a heart which opens up the soul to the kingdom of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah. We want to imprison Krishna in our heart forever. And we can only do that if our consciousness is pure. And this is exactly the point Srila Prabhupada is making, that how can we keep our consciousness pure? for the males and females. I mean, I'm no better than anyone else. We do end up seeing movies, things like that. Really not good for our consciousness when you're watching, mundane movies, or you reading about mundane things. It's really not good for the consciousness, and in fact, subconsciously you're breaking your four regulations as well by seeing and reading about things that in a subtle way you're breaking the regulations and affects your consciousness. So we have to protect our body, which is the instrument for bhakti, and we have to protect our consciousness, which is also very important for our bhakti. In fact, most important, because we have to be Krishna conscious. How can we remain Krishna conscious? I think that's what we should be working on. How can we keep our consciousness Krishna conscious? There are a lot of distractions. Some cannot be helped, but the ones we can be helped, I think we should make definitely a deliberate endeavor to do so. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for the class. The point that what I particularly pulled out was around the genuine love for Krishna of the ladies of Hastinapur when they were crying in separation. Their hearts were melting and kind of contemplating how this is like the highest love, and also how that like generally, and if you consider like other religions and cultures, they have so many different views about what God is and what looks like, what God must be like. Some religions see him as an old man, quite a God-fearing approach to him. Others see God as like a order supplier. They, if they want something, they'll pray to him. They'll ask him for their needs and wants, etc. Whereas here in these verses, it just shows how the beautiful affectionate relationships that the ladies of Hastinapur have for Krishna. It shows like a level of sweetness and a level of love that, in comparison to other cultures, etc., it's very unique, and it's really, really special. It's very deep. It's a very deep love, essentially. That was my observation, essentially. So that was it. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Ajay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, these verses, one thing that is, I think, important is to note how the citizens of Hastinapur, they actually appreciate the appreciation of Krishna. I mean, we take it for granted that if we met Krishna face to face, that we would know that he's the Supreme Lord, that we would respond to him appropriately. But even during his Prakriti Leela, not everybody realized that he was the Supreme Lord. Take example of gurus. A lot of gurus, they didn't see him as the Lord. They saw him as a powerful warrior, maybe as just a very cunning trickster. They didn't appreciate that they're actually dealing with the Lord himself. It just shows how important it is that we purify ourselves. But when we do get the opportunity to see Krishna, we can respond appropriately. We can respond with love, with respect as well. So, I mean, the gopis, there isn't that order versus gone completely. But for us, at least, we need to keep developing that to point where then we can have our own. We know what our particular rasa is, and then we can have that mutual relationship with Krishna that is natural to us, but has been afflicted due to our own conditioning. Then only then can we truly be happy, and it just shows that when we start to develop our relationship with Krishna, our problems are not so much an issue. And whatever condition we're in, should be whether we heaven or hell, it makes no difference. As long as you are in your relationship with Krishna, as long as you're serving Krishna, because that is your natural constitution. And that is what we need to aim towards. We need to develop that relationship. That way, wherever we are, whatever universe, wherever we are, you're happy because we're serving Krishna. Very well.
Haribol. Thank you. Okay. Just yourself.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, we've been just told the importance of the consciousness, our Chetana. That is the most important thing. This is what makes us alive. That's what distinguishes us from the non-living things around us. So that is why we are in Krishna consciousness. Like 24/7, we have to remember that who is the Almighty and what is our role in His, Srishti, in His universe, in His cosmos. What are we? What are we? If our consciousness is not Krishna consciousness, then we'll be, simply just passing our days. That's all. And the importance of simplicity. So the simpler the heart, the easier it grasps things. The complicated the heart, the complicated the situation. If you have too many ifs and buts about every little thing, then how will you, say yes to the knowledge coming from the Shastras? Because you will be always speculating, arguing, that's it. And we have to have that simplicity of the gopis and it reflected in the ladies of Hastinapur as well. They were all higher beings if they were participating in the Krishna Leela. And learning and devotion both are required in the bhakti. So sometimes we see that through learning, the devotion will come. The devotion won't come straight away, because as human beings, we are complicated. We have got our own minds, our own thinking. So the more we learn about the Lord through the sanghas, through the shastras, by hearing and by association of the devotees, the devotion will rub on us as well. So just like if we spend our time with the ones who are just wasting their time, so-called, like as a devotees, we feel like that. Just for example, if we were playing video games 24/7, then obviously we will get addicted to it. So this is our minds are like that. Whatever we practice most of the time, we get interested in it, and slowly it starts to seem to other persons that like we are addicted to that behavior. So we have to have that bhava of separation. That's what Krishna wants to see in us. It's like a student who is just feeling the separation from the best results he or she has envisioned those results in their mind. So that's why they're working hard to achieve them. So similarly, we have to have the bhava of separation, of the virakti. Then only we will get the yukta viragya feeling, that we will be doing our daily lives, doing everything, doing all our worldly duties, but still at the back of our mind, we know that who is the proprietor of this body, who is the proprietor of all the enjoyment around us, and who is the Sarva Bhokta Maheshwaram at the end of the day. At the moment, it is like, okay, when it suits me, my bhakti mode gets very high. When it doesn't suit me, it is at the back burner. It will take it can take care by itself. So yes, these hymns, these verses, they are very heartfelt. They're coming straight from the devotees, the people of Hastinapur, and it's so nice to see. And yes, so many teachings Bhagavatam gives us every day. How should we live? How should we dress up? How should we conduct ourselves? How should we look after our consciousness? Because I always feel that looking after our consciousness is not easy. It's so easy to get slipped. It's so easy to get astray when you are in the company of people of a different thought process. But if you have connected yourself to Krishna, if you're doing your sadhana properly, if you're looking after your consciousness, then even if there are temptations, you won't slip. Because we've had acharyas, we have had big devotees. Look at Srila Prabhupada. He went to the West. He could have enjoyed himself. He could have been like what other gurus were doing, but no, he was focused. He was a businessman. How he became a bhakta, serious. He went to Vrindavan. He remembered what he wants to achieve. So there are examples of people who can slip from their path and the people who are steady on their path. So the choice is ours. End of the day, it is our own endeavor which is going to benefit us. It's not going to benefit, but like they say that if you do bhakti properly, so many generations of your family, they also benefit. If you say in simple terms, I think if you're doing bhakti, so you can inspire one or at least one person in your extended family. So never mind how many generations will get benefit. That is a thing to be seen later. But at this very moment, you can inspire. You can make some lovely bhoga prasad, and people will be inspired that, oh, without onion garlic, also such relishable cooking can be done. So prasad is our weapon, so as to say, and Krishna is bhavagrahi Janardana. He's accepting all our feelings, all our efforts. They might seem very little to us at this moment, but this is what is going to uplift us, is going to take back to Godhead. This is what my learning from today's verses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah, Radharani makes a point about helping other people. This is what Lord Chaitanya said. He says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that I'm the only gardener, so I need other gardeners to help me. And so, like he says that you can just sow the seed in other people's consciousness about, and it may not fructify straight away. It may take a year, it may take 10 years, but it will fructify eventually. It's a powerful process, and that seed will fructify at some point, but it's our duty to sow that seed in others and help Lord Chaitanya's mission. And the other thing is that about the consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says that yes, even his consciousness could get polluted, but he didn't have time for that kind of thing. So he didn't give that time gap to his consciousness to be polluted. This is why we have 9 types of devotion service. We should always be doing at least one of them. We should be hearing like we are now. We should be chanting, which we do. We should be remembering Krishna. Doing our deity service. We're doing some kind of service, cooking, or cleaning the temple, like that. There's so many things you can do, and other times we are busy with our trying to earn a living. So there should be no time. Let's not give time for those things to take over our consciousness, because idle mind, what that is. And let's not give even a minute of idleness. Do something positive, do something spiritual, and keep this mind and consciousness occupied, because the mind wants some kind of gratification, but keep it occupied by using our intelligence. This is what we're discussing, that use our intelligence to control the mind by doing them. And the intelligence says, now don't do this, don't do these things, do these things. Now what is right and wrong? Mind only goes far as, oh, I don't like this, so I find it boring. But intelligence says, no, it might be boring now, but it will become sweeter later. So, and it's more important, and it's for your own benefit. So you do that, and then both ways, these two neighbors of the consciousness, the mind and the intelligence, can help the neighbor, which is the consciousness. So we have to be mindful of that. And I'm talking to myself at the same time. Radharani, you want to say something?
Yeah. Yes, Bhakti Yoga is actually Buddhi Yoga as well. I was hearing the other day, and I was thinking, how come it is Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga because we are using the Karma Yoga, whatever we are doing. We are doing the Jnana Yoga, whatever we are learning. We are using our intelligence above all, and there is love in it. So that's why it's bhakti. But it's all together comprises also of buddhi yoga. In many places in Bhagavatam, you will see Srila Prabhupada uses the term buddhi yoga for bhakti yoga as well. So when I heard that clarity, I thought, yes, wonderful. The only tool we have all the time with us is our intelligence, and our intelligence helps us to, employ the free will properly. If we don't have the intelligence, proper intelligence in us, I think we will be using our free will for doing this, that. So we will. Who is going to be at the point of loss? It's going to be us. So yes, let us employ our buddhi yoga all the time, and that is also bhakti yoga, like Srila Prabhupada says. So yeah, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So Prabhupada says, hope everyone coming to today's class by Bhanu Swami Maharaj. And this is a great point in discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Prabhupada Prabhu. Yes, we hope to see you. And thank you all for joining. Granthaj Shivaktam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.